What's up, Cons? Happy Friday.
What's up, Jamie? How's it going? Happy Friday. Are we on now?
We are on.
All right, everybody. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly wrap up with Councilwoman Jamie Torres and DJ Konz. How's it going, Jamie?
Oh, it's good. I'm ready for a long weekend, ready to be able to relax a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, that's always good. Never a bad thing to relax and get an extra day in of rest, you know?
it's so true. And we've had such a busy week, so I know my team's looking forward to it too. But welcome everyone. You are watching the weekly wrap up with me and DJ Cons, and this is where we sum up what's happened this week in council and give you maybe a couple community announcements. So thank you for joining us. DJ Cons, introduce yourself, what you do.
Yeah, DJ Konz, local DJ, local producer, local community activist, and always sending positive vibes to everybody.
Thank you for being here. So we will start with our legislative wrap up, and I just have two things to talk about. One that's really exciting that finally wrapped up this week in council is the loan to Habitat for Humanity to build 6 homes and 3 accessory dwelling units in Villa Park, and they're building it on land donated to Habitat from the city that we approved already previously. And these are remnant parcels. So you may have a block in your neighborhood where like the house stops and then there's some random like triangular or weird shaped parcel at the end of your lot. Ours is at the Gulch where the Villa Park hits the Gulch at 12th. And there were a lot of those lots. And these conversations started happening so many years ago. I'm almost embarrassed to say how many years this has taken. But finally, the final pieces are in place for Habitat to start building home ownership for families, and just really thrilled that this project is finally reached this point. So new homeowners in Villa Park coming soon.
Yes, absolutely. That's awesome that, Habitat does that. When I was younger, I got the opportunity to help out and work on some houses and help build houses when I was even before I was a teenager. So yeah, the things they do for community and, it's an awesome thing.
For real, for real. The other thing that I wanted to touch on it was a really disappointing moment, I think, for all of us in council to watch our colleague Councilman Hines really struggle with access at one of his debates this week. And so for those of us that are participating in that process, we have to participate in debates if we're opposed, and his debate was not accessible. And this is something that I think both the venue, but also the clerk and recorder's office really had a responsibility to ensure was in place for him, but for anybody else. Remember the last election, Callan Heffernan, who was a candidate for mayor, was going to participate in a debate in my district at the Westwood Community Center, sponsored by SWIC, and they built her a ramp. Like, some of these things are totally doable and achievable. Just takes some communication and planning. So just really apologetic that he had to go through something like that this week, and I know that we can do better as a city. So just wanted to give that shout out on that issue.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. On to announcements. So at the beginning of this month, we highlighted Lucille Berkeley Buchanan for Black History Month, who was a Barnum resident, first Black woman to graduate from the University of Colorado and UNC. I also wanted to highlight some Black-owned businesses, some artists, organizations in our district that support the Black community. Some of the most brilliant creatives in Denver and in District 3 can be found at the Source Theater Company on Santa Fe Drive. So it's housed in the Denver Civic Theater alongside Su Teatro. And the Source Theater Company really uplifts Black voices on stage, provides original works, which include In the Presence of God, Sisters Sweetwater, Life and Times of Old Alfred. And the Source Theater Company is actively writing original work and will be back on the stage soon. So just thrilled that they're part of District 3 and all that they bring to our creative space as well.
Oh yeah, they're taking their time with their process. I could really appreciate that as an artist. You know what I mean? You got to perfect the work before you share it to the world. Make sure that it's fine tuned and that it's to your liking, so that other people can like and appreciate it as well. So
Yeah.
hats off to them and what they're doing.
Builds up the anticipation. I can't wait to see their next production. And then Konz, I had such a good opportunity yesterday to talk about a new exhibit at History Colorado about the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo with Dr. Nikki Gonzalez on Instagram Live. And so this exhibit just looks amazing. They've got pages from the original treaty document, which tell such an important part of Colorado history and how much it overlaps with slavery and indigenous histories and everything else going on throughout the country. It was a great opportunity because she also was last year's state historian and led the Latino Chicano Historic Context Study. So fortunate to have her in our community and be able to learn from her.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Those are the things that really interest me and catch my eye, are just things that I want to learn about and know and understand. And this history in Colorado, is it goes pretty deep. So the more we could learn and see, and it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, and it often, I think, illuminates a lot of injustices that we can't just ignore. And so got to check it out if you've got time. It's running now through May 3rd. But so don't wait too long. You definitely want to make sure you enjoy it, bring your family, and see what else History Colorado has to offer you. I'm also excited to announce a launch party for the second Historic Context Study, which will be on February 25th from 11 to 1, and it'll be at the Denver Indian Center, which is on Morrison Road. And the Historic Context looks at diverse ethnic and cultural history throughout Denver. This one is in partnership with our Native communities. And so Denver Landmark Preservation and the Office of Storytelling are also key partners in the study, and the documentary that'll be created will share history and honor our Indigenous communities in Denver and throughout. So this series will guide the city's efforts to make sure that we are doing the right preservation processes, historic designation, but also just, I think, gives us a broader land use planning and kind of policy platform.
Yeah, that's awesome. We just got finished talking about the Latino Colorado historic context. So I'm glad to see the Indigenous Peoples context is coming up next, and this week I actually got the opportunity to stop by, the Red Line Gallery down there, close to downtown, and they're really showcasing a lot of Indigenous artists and showing what the history of the art and activism is about. And hats off to everybody that's really taking the time to to bring that to light and make it a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes it real. And I can't tell you how many conversations I've had since I learned about Camp Weld, which was where Lama Lincoln Park neighborhood is right now, and its kind of narrative for its participation, not just in kind of the Army and the U.S. Army and the occupation and kind of territorial kind of history of Denver and of Colorado, but of also our Native community and its role that it played in Sand Creek Massacre, and just so many things that we can't forget actually happened right here in our backyard.
Absolutely, and totally close to where we all currently live now. I advise people, just recommend go back and look at the history and see how close to home all this stuff was going on back then, and the impact that it had on society, and the impact that it continues to have to this day. Knowing and understanding that, knowing your history really kind of helps you set up a better future for everybody around us and everybody in our community. So
100%. Well, those are all the announcements that we have. Konz, any special plans this weekend?
You know what? We got a long weekend. I am, for the first time in a long time, I have nothing going on, so I am going to take it easy. Probably go check out a few exhibits, go check out some art galleries, and just spend some time with the family. So, yeah.
That sounds beautiful. Yeah, me, likewise, every weekend's always a little bit busy here and there for me. So I'll be looking forward to connecting with friends and family, but a little bit of work sprinkled in. So it's all good. Well, thank you, Konz. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, absolutely. You do the same, Jamie. And community, District 3, be safe, have fun. Always something going on in D3. So if you're bored, Go seek and you shall find. Peace out, everybody. Be safe. Happy Friday.